Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy, and this is a vinyl finds video or vinyl purchases for the most part. There's a couple other things I'm going to show, but these are just the recent ones I've picked up. The first one I'm going to show is by Nick Waterhouse, and this is his album Promenade Blue. I saw Randy Weaver show this on his channel, and it sounded very interesting, and it is. It's kind of unique in that it's called retro soul, but he has a little bit of, I don't know, old R&B. There's one song I really like, a Spanish Look, kind of has this Tennessee Ernie Ford like background singing going on. It's really pretty cool. But and then there's the title track instrumental. It's really good. This one's in French here. Got the title. Medicine's a really cool one. B, Santa Ana, 1986. But just a unique artist. I suggest you go, take a listen to him like on Spotify or something. Because, I don't know, it's not like anybody I've heard before. And it was really great, I thought. There's the label. Not even sure what records this is. Innovative Leisure. Came out in 2020. But yeah, great album. I'd check out. It's really different. It's got the lyric sheet, some nice photos on that as well. But yeah, Nick Waterhouse. See, he's got a few more albums, so I'm gonna have to check them out and maybe get those. Next one I'm gonna show is, I've got about every Bob Dylan album, and now I think I'm only missing Dylan and the Dead and the Christmas album, which a lot of people don't care for those, but if you're a completist, you're going to have them eventually. But I did not have Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, the soundtrack album. Of course, it's a Sam Peckinpah Western with James Coburn and Chris Christopherson playing the lead characters, although they were much older than the historical figures that they were representing. But it was kind of interesting that I found out, Sam Peckinpah really didn't know Bob Dylan, but the guy that wrote the screenplay, I don't know if his name's on here, but anyway, he was a friend with Bob Dylan, and he recommended him, and he even wrote a part for Bob in the show, in the movie, and supposedly Sam Peckinpah had wanted Roger Miller to do the music, but they ended up just choosing Dylan. I think he really does a very good job on this. The instrumentals I really like, the main theme, also just beautiful, the bunkhouse theme, which is on here, is really cool. And Turkey Chase I thought was really nice, the instrumentals. But he's also got, 4 songs he sings on, Billy 4, Billy 7, and Billy 1. But of course the famous song that came off here is Knocking on Heaven's Door, one of his best. But I think really interesting album, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, Bob Dylan. And of course Bob was on the Columbia label at the time. Next is one of my favorite artists, and it's Mink DeVille. This is his album, Where Angels Fear to Tread. This came out in 1983. I thought I had this album, but then I looked all over my collection because I had seen this at the record shop, and I looked in the CDs that I had, and I could not find it, so I guess I don't have it. But I knew all the songs pretty well, so maybe my roommate in college had it. He had a great record collection, and I got a lot of the artists that I'm interested in today because of him. But anyway, Every Word's a Beat of My Heart is just a great ballad. Also, Are You Lonely Tonight? The Moonlight Let Me Down. But yeah, really great album. River of Tears is a really great song on here too. But yeah, Mink DeVille, he's got that smoky, soulful voice. A lot of it was smoky because he sang cigarettes all his life. A lot of times when he was in concert, he was smoking on a cigarette. But yeah, Mink DeVille, Where Angels Fear to Tread, on the Atlantic label. Okay. All right, next is another album from 1983. I love this cover. Martin Briley. See the cover here. And The album's called One Night with a Stranger. He was a session musician a lot of his career, but he's had several good albums come out. This one was the one that had his big hit, Salt in My Tears, which the Salt in My Tears. God, I'm gonna get it right sooner or later here. But that's probably one you might know. But this whole album was pretty good. If you liked somebody like maybe the Hooters or Greg Ken Band from the 80s, you'd probably like this too. Just nice, good, catchy rock songs. Martin Briley. And all songs about love and heartbreak. Oh, and the song She's So Flexible was one to really check out. It's really cool. And he was on the Mercury label. Next is the Crazy Cadillacs. This is from 1959. Doo-wop group. They also put in some R&B in there. Their big hit was Speedo. This one they have the definitive version of the song Gloria. It's the doo-wop song Gloria, not the Van Morrison Them song Gloria. But yeah, My Girlfriend is a really cool song, but I do like my doo-wop and early R&B, and this was a really fine album by the Cadillacs. Only problem is this record store I go to, they put the stickers on there, the price stickers on there, and usually you get your hair dryer and go on there until you can finally take it off. This kind of left a residue when I did it this time, but it's always a pain in the butt. I don't know if somebody knows an easier way to take those off. Please let me know. But yeah, and they were on the Jubilee label. This is an original copy. Next is Bob Mould. You may know him from Husker Du or Sugar. There's a couple songs on here that do remind me of Sugar. I Don't Know You Anymore is probably the one that reminds me the most of it. But yeah, nice album from 2014 by Bob Mould. And he was on Merge Records. And the last one, I had a CD called the Bang Masters that had all the stuff Van Morrison released on Bang, but I didn't really have the album in CD or vinyl form, so I ended up getting this vinyl or music on vinyl reissue. Yeah, it's pretty good. Came in a polyline sleeve, which is nice. But yeah, Van Morrison. I think I have everything now, but his new Skiffle album that I don't think it's come out yet. So anyway, but one other thing is I got this a little while back, but I haven't showed it before, and I did get the Bob Dylan Fragments box set. This is the Time Out of Mind sessions. Really cool. Comes with, the CDs are in this, looks like an old 78s from Columbia, which, he's done a few times now. And bootleg, and it's got a nice booklet as well. Time Out of Mind was just a great album, so these sessions are really interesting to hear. Anyway. And Steve from All the World's a Stage had just shown some of these books, the story behind every track, all the songs. Like, I told him I had the Bob Dylan one, and he had shown it. Well, I just went to my local bookstore today, used bookstore. He said, hey, I have something that might interest you, and he had the David Bowie one. So now I have all the songs, the story behind every track for David Bowie as well. But yeah, great books, really interesting. I think Steve already showed a lot of these photos and stuff, but it's got like who played on each track and producer, all that kind of stuff. But really interesting books. And I don't get a lot of biographies or things like that. Most of the books I get on music are reference books. So, but anyway, and these are great reference books. So that's all I have. Hope everyone's doing well, and everyone take care.